So hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to discuss about the biology chapter number 1, and that are like cells. And we will talk about the cells, and that is our chapter number 1. So it's gonna be fun, so let's go into it. So first of all, if I tell the definition of cell. What is cell? Cell is the basic functional and structural unit of life. And now our question arises that how is it the basic structural or functional unit of life? For instance, whatever I'm going to teach you will give the answers of why the cell is known as the basic function and structural unit of life. But before starting anything, so I need to give you an introduction. Like if I come into the structural basis, oh my god, so there's a lot of lecture that we have to learn. So I think so we should begin faster and faster. Okay, so if I talk about the structural basis, so structure, like it gives a structure. First of all, we have a cell. Here I've made cell. Through cells, when similar cells join, we get tissues, and through this is not attracting color, we get tissues. And through tissues we get organ, and through organ we get organ system, and through organ system we get organism. So it typically gives us structure. Function, for instance, the basic component in her body, the basic component in our body comes to be the cell, right? The basic compound or the basic molecule found in our body is like protein. ठीक है, एक molecule जो सबसे ज़्यादा पाया जाता है हमारी body के अंदर, because everything is made up of protein. So it's functional. If we don't have protein in our body, our body will not work. So the cell makes protein. Cell is responsible for the protein synthesis. Like the production of protein. Through that our body works. Everything is made up of protein in our body. So I hope this is clear. Moreover, we have this is something that we need to discuss. For instance, if you go to a garden with your friend, if you just went a garden with your friend and you just looked into some slices, and you just looked a stem. Okay, the stem should be of the brown color, right? I don't think so we have brown here, so let me just design it with some brown. So this was a stem that me and my friend saw, and we found that this was some weak stem, and we decided we'll see this under the microscope. So what we did, we took a piece of that. That piece shall be of something like this. Took a piece, and what we did, we took the knife, or you can say the blazer, and we cut a section of it, cut a piece of it, and we put it on the microscope slide. So this is known as the microscope slide. And when we had a lens, we saw that here is that. This is our slide, and here is our microscope, and we saw that, and this is our, oh my god, this is our real magnification. This is something that I saw. There were some small boxes made. There were some small boxes made into it, and then the scientists named these boxes as cell. These are the basic. They found that stem is made up of some boxes, and that they named cell, which was the basic structural and functional unit of life, which means the stem was made of these cells. Okay, here what happened, we have magnified the microscope how many times? 60x times, which means 60 times. We have multiplied 60 times more. We have seen this than the real image. For instance, like we cannot see cells from our naked eye. That is so true, because they are so small. So we have to use some microscopes, and we have to use some magnification. So here we use some 60 magnification. For instance, the real size of the microscope, or the real size of the cell will be 0.03 millimeter, but when I saw it into the 60x, the microscopic image or the microscopic micrograph whatsoever, the image I saw was magnified 60 times, and the real image I saw was 2 millimeter. So just because of these microscopes, we get to look things into more further way. Moreover, my next thing was what I need to teach. So yeah, that was the main. Now if I talk about the positions, so now we will talk about some cell organelles. Okay, so we will talk about some cell organelles. Starting with some cell organelles, we will talk about the mitochondria first, for sure. Mitochondria is what? Here you guys can have a look to the structure of the mitochondria. So first of all, what is mitochondria? It is the cell organelle. It has some specific functions or specific factories. Okay. First of all, we know कि what is mitochondria. अब हमारे पास सबसे पहले mitochondria एक cell organelle है. Cell organelles क्या होते हैं? कुछ special factories होती हैं जिनके पास कुछ specific functions होता हैं. उनमें से we have a mitochondria. So first of all, mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. It has its own DNA, which means it makes its own ribosomes and own enzymes, own protein. ठीक है. Then if we look into the structure, we have the outer layer and we have the inner layer. Inside we have DNA. Here see DNA and here the ribosomes. Here we have the inner layer. Then we have crystal. The enfolding is known as the cristia. Now it tells us that okay, I have definitely removed something from here. So now here it tells कि अब यहाँ पे क्या होता है. ठीक है, for getting the enzyme, like ATP equals to energy, adenine triphosphate. Here what happens, the breakdown of glucose, we get the energy like C6H2O6 plus O2. What do we get? This is the process. We get oxygen and we get energy out of it. ठीक है जी. So this process everybody knows. Like C6H12O6 we got. This is the system in the एनिमल्स. ठीक है, हमारे पास ग्लूकोज होता है, हमारे पास ऑक्सीजन होता है. जब हमारे रेस्पिरेशन का प्रोसेस है ये चीज़ ना, जब हमारे पास ग्लूकोज होता है, हमारा ऑक्सीजन होता है. अगर हम उसे कंक्लूड करें, हमारे पास कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बाहर निकलती है और हमारे पास एनर्जी बाहर निकलती है. Then moreover, if we talk about the ribosomes has a typical size. For instance, the ribosomes in the mitochondria will have a size of 70s. In the bacteria, the 70s size is usually found, and the cristae and the enfoldings actually increase the surface area of it. So that was all about the mitochondria here. Then we have some ribosomes. What are ribosomes? Ribosomes are found in both animal and plant cell, and they are found in the bacteria. They are responsible for the protein synthesis. They come from a semblance of, and they come from nucleus. So you get this, the protein synthesis direction. For instance, nucleus is the, I have told you guys, the nucleus is something which gives instructions, which controls. It is the control center. So for that, protein synthesis is the work of nucleus, but this mitochondria also makes its own protein synthesis. It protein synthesis by the instruction of the nucleus. So yeah, it assembles the protein ribosomes. So this was about the ribosomes. And if we talk about the positions like in animal and plant, the structure are like the structures like rough endoplasmic reticulum, they are stuck to it. ठीक है. और bacteria में they are floating, and animal they are also floating somewhere also on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Moreover, then we have the second organelle system, which is nucleus. ठीक है. What is nucleus? Here if we see, this is a nucleus that I've made. So बीच में हमारे पास है यहाँ पर, this we have a cell. ठीक है, this is a cell which we have the cell membrane. Then we have nucleus into it, and this is cell, which is animal. And then what I did, I just looked into this nucleus. ये न्यूक्लियस निकाल लिया. एंड व्हाट आई डिड मैंने उसका हाफ किया, मैंने उसको थोड़ा सा टुकड़ा निकाल के हेयर इज द प्रेजेंटेशन आई दैट मेड फॉर यू. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इन द न्यूक्लियस वी सॉ दैट वी हैव what happened? Okay. So first of all here, if you look into this, we have the nuclear envelope. The nucleus has two membranes, but altogether it is known as nuclear. Oh my god, what did I did? But altogether it is known as the nuclear envelope. We have some nuclear pores into the the membrane, just because of the transportation. हमें transportation करवानी हो ribosomes की and gases and everything. Moreover instructions की and ये हमारे पास जो here we have the genetic material, chromatin material, which is the genetic material. We have the fluid part, and the chromatin material is scattered into the fluid, which is known as nucleoplasm. And that we have some nucleolus, which is the protein synthesis. It's the department. So chromatin is DNA. अब DNA have some functions like it controls selectivities. It is responsible for the protein synthesis. इसका protein synthesis मतलब वो protein बनाता है. अगर हमारी body में protein ना बने तो हमारे enzymes भी नहीं बनती. अगर enzymes नहीं होती है तो हमारे कोई chemical reaction work नहीं करता. So enzymes are very important in our body. तो enzymes को भी बनाने के लिए protein चाहिए होता है. तो हमारा जो हर enzyme होता है वो एक protein होता है, वो protein से बना हुआ होता है. And its third work comes to inheritance like eye color, hair, and everything that it has. Moreover, what will happen if we don't have a nucleus? So what will happen if we don't have a nucleus? What will happen? It says, as for instance, here we have a nucleus, and this is the nucleoplasm, which is responsible for the protein synthesis. अब जो nucleus होता है वो instructions देता है. For instance, अगर हमें कोई एंजाइम बनानी है, अगर हमें रेस्पिरेशन करवानी है, ठीक है, या हमें रेस्पिरेशन करवानी है, या हमें कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट को सेल से कोई ट्रांसपोर्ट करवाना है, या कोई भी मॉलिक्यूल को सेल से लेके आना है, सेल के अंदर जाना है कि सेल के बाहर जाना है, उसके लिए हमें रिसेप्टर्स की ज़रूरत होती है. फॉर इंस्टेंस just a minute. Here we have this cell membrane and they have some receptors. They are known as some receptors, protein receptors. They are known as protein receptors. अब वो चीज़ क्यों ऐसे नोन होती है? क्योंकि वो ये प्रोटीन के बने हुए होते हैं. और ये प्रोटीन कौन प्रोवाइड करता है? ये न्यूक्लियस प्रोवाइड करता है. अब ये रिसेप्टर्स का काम क्या होता है? फॉर इंस्टेंस अगर हमारे कोई मॉलिक्यूल को आना होता है, जाना होता है, तो क्या करते हैं? दे कम टू दिस रिसेप्टर्स एंड उसके ज़रिए दे मूव आउट ऑफ द the cell. So like the cell membrane is semi permeable, so it never allows, so we use these protein receptors. अगर ये nucleus बोले कि मैं तुम्हें वो receptor देता ही नहीं हूँ, if I don't give you receptors, so our entire cell will not work. So our entire cell depends on the nucleus. Moreover, the nucleus is the basic fundamental and structure unit of a cell. Okay, so the main function comes to be that it is a master regulator. It regulates, it manages everything, every single thing. Moreover, for instance, we don't, in our cells, in RBCs, we don't have a nucleus, so their only function is to just the exchanging of the gases. The replication, which means for the cell, like we have the third theory of the cell theory. We have that every cell comes from the pre-existing cell, so which means the cell production, replication of the cell, it is important. So we covered our cell too. For instance, like here is the replication of like here we have a cell. What will be the first stage? This will be the first stage that it is about to divide. Second, it will divide its nucleus. Then after that, it will the cell will start pinching. Like will deliberately वो अपने आप को निकालेगा, एक दूसरे से अलग अलग करेगा. And then we have different cell. अब शायद ऐसा हो कि एक सेल जो हो वो डिवाइड होता जाए, या एक सेल जो है वो कोई स्पेशलाइज सेल बन जाए. So this is something that can work like that. Okay, so I hope this is something very clear to you. And okay, so yeah, this was all about this video.